What's up, ladies and gents? Your boy Dread is back, and this is week one of my NFL predictions. You are tuned into the DreadMan Sports Podcast, and I got my boy Flip on here with me. Say what's up, Flip.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yeah, all right. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. This is the way this is gonna work. This is episode one of the week one of this 2017-2018 NFL podcast, and I'm gonna go down the list of teams and tell you guys what their records are. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to go ahead and start with the AFC North. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, my squad, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Cleveland Browns. All right, Flip. What do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers record is going to be this year?
I'm gonna say they go about 10-6.
10-6. That is interesting. I see why you say that because Pittsburgh, while they have the potential to be a championship caliber team, they always make the mistake of playing down to the competition, as in they lose games they have no business losing. A part of me kind of wants to say 11-5. Well, I'm teeter-totter in between 11-5 and 12-4. I want to say 11-5 to be on the safe side, but the Steelers fan in me won't let me. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Steelers will be 12-4 this year. The only teams that I can really see beating us this year are the New England Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs, because we got to play the Chiefs away, and let's see, the Green Bay Packers. That one's going to be a real tough one. That was going to be a shootout. And the only other teams I can see is beating it. I can only see us just throwing one divisional game. Maybe we'll throw a divisional game to the Ravens or to the Bengals at home, but we'll see about that. I say Steelers 12-4. Now the Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Ravens will be 8-8 because Joe Flacco is old and he's starting to get garbage. John Harbaugh is a lackluster coach, and the only thing that's saving the Ravens is their defense. So I'm gonna go ahead and say 8-8. What about you?
I gotta say it depends on Flacco and Brashad Perriman. If they can actually show up and kind of kickstart this offense, I'd say they could maybe steal a couple of games, maybe go like 9-7, barely like make a wild card.
Right.
But if that offense can't show up, I got them going like
somebody else just chimed in.
All right, this is Waffle Talk.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
Sure, chilling, man. We just running through this through every team's record in the NFL this year. We've already covered the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens. Just who do you think? What do you think the Steelers' record is going to be this year, man?
Steelers' record this year? I probably would say 11-5.
Yeah, that's safe. Like I said, I wanted to steer somewhere between 11-5 or 12-4. I said I wanted to be 11-5 just to be on the safe side, but I'm gonna go ahead and just go for the glory and take a risk and say 12-4. And who you think is going to win? Yeah. Now the Baltimore Ravens. What do you think their record is going to be? I say 8-8.
Baltimore Ravens. You know what? I got no. Hold on. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say 9-7 actually with the Ravens. I don't think. I think the Bengals fall off a bit. And obviously the Browns. So I do think that Baltimore with the addition of Woodhead, if they get a healthy season out of him, I do think they can kind of turn around. I still think Flacco's probably the second best quarterback in that division. And I don't see the Bengals getting their shit together again. So I think Baltimore leapfrogs them, but still plays, the bridesmaid to the Steelers.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, like, the AFC North is probably the number one defensive division in the entire NFL. So that's also something to keep in mind. And the only thing that saves these teams in the AFC North is their defense, because a lot of these divisional games, they are really smash mouth and they are hard hitting. So yeah, that's something that you got to really keep in mind. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Cincinnati Bengals will just squeak by the Ravens, and I'm gonna go ahead and say the Bengals will be 9-7. I think they're gonna steal a divisional game against the Steelers, but we'll see about that. What you guys think?
I'll probably give you the 8-8 or 7-9 thing that you were doing with the Ravens. Honestly, that's my opinion. I just think they're I think they're gonna fall off. I don't know what they're gonna get out of Mixon. Their running back. They got the running back thing situation. Kind of a gamble right now. I think I just don't see it.
Yeah, like I said,
man, the Bengals played the Browns twice this season, and they played the Jaguars. I got them going probably 9-7 too,
right?
somewhere around there.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
They have a pretty. I think they still maybe 1 or 2 divisional games, and then that easy schedule. They might lose a couple to the Colts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Colts Packers are definitely losing. Texans, I can't see them maybe slipping out of that one, but I got them about 9-7, 8-8 maybe.
I say the same thing because Andy Dalton, while he has a good arm and he can take a lot of hits, it's just something about that whole squad that's missing something. I don't know what that something is, but it's just like no matter what they do, they can't seem to make it past the first round of the playoffs. So regardless of whether they get the playoffs or not, whether they get a wild card spot or God forbid, or glory be to God if they win the division, which I don't see. Like they're not going to get past the first round. But anyway, the last team in the NFC in the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you guys say this one first.
Any team that plays the Browns twice a year is probably going 9-7 and higher.
Right.
That's about it. But Browns, maybe 2-14, 3-13.
Right.
That Kaiser Cast is doing pretty well in preseason, though, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But then again, that's the preseason. I mean, everybody plays in the preseason is second string, and it's a damn shame when your second string is better than your starters.
Yeah, that is pretty sad.
I mean, shout out to Osweiler with the finesse game, man. Seriously.
My friend Kaylee Christina on Facebook says the Dallas is going to get in the Super Bowl. Oh, don't worry. We will get to them. We will get to the Dallas Cowboys. Believe that. All right. Anyway, moving on. The AFC South. The Indianapolis Colts. I've got them somewhere between 10-6 and 9-7. I'm going to go ahead and say 10-6. What about you guys?
You know what? I got the Colts going 8-8.
That's reasonable.
They get smoked by the Texans. I think they get smoked by
Pittsburgh.
Titans. Yeah, Steelers gonna take them out too. I think they might have some surprise loss to the Jaguars or something crazy because Andrew Luck is real sketchy.
I think this is gonna be the season where Andrew Luck gets his shit together. But I'll talk about that in a second.
Wasn't he injured in the preseason too?
I think so. I mean, but the thing is, we haven't really seen that much of him. Like I said, I think like Andrew Luck, like he might get it together this year. I mean, like I said, I don't think they're gonna do better than 11-5. But like, I'll give my opinion in a second. But I mean, well, I already did. But yeah.
Yeah, they got the Jags twice. They got the Niners and obviously the Rams. Those are 2 wins right there. Cardinals is a toss up. Seahawks probably the only loss out of that division. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're going to be at least 10-6, 11-5, unless something happens. Unless the Texans really found that piece in that puzzle with the quarterback, and then they just turn it around on them and they take over that division. But we already know, unless it's kind of hard.
I know, man.
You got Mariota and Houston just lurking, and it's just like Andrew Luck. You don't know if it's been the shoulder the entire time or if it's lacerated. What do you have to go?
Yeah.
A kidney or a lip or something like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you don't know. We just don't. We haven't. I don't know. He had a good season last year, despite him like literally carrying the back. But it's like, what happens if T.Y. Hilton goes down? If T.Y. Hilton goes down,
that's it. Because the receiving core is not what they used to be. The receiving core is not what it used to be, and the running core is not what they used to be. And come on, the defense has always been lackluster for the Colts. The Colts can't get it together on defense no matter what they do. The only thing they have a prayer of is a secondary, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
They're losing both games to the Texans. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. All right, moving on. The Houston Texans. Like, you guys are going to think I'm nuts by saying this, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Texans do win the South, but I actually do see the Texans tying with the Colts with a 10-6 record. The only thing that's going to really make the difference is those games that they don't play in their division. But I think that if they do tie with the Colts 10-6, I think that it's going to come down to who has the better record, divisional record. But I say Texas 10-6. All right, what do you guys think?
I got them tying or close to tying with the Titans for division champion. I want to say Texans probably go around 9-7 just because of that defense. Defense carries them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what I would agree with. I'm looking at their schedule right now. The two games towards the end, that week 16 against the Steelers, we don't know what's gonna be. Maybe the Steelers, maybe they're resting their starters by then.
Yeah.
They already wrapped up that division. They might be able to just get an easy win off of that alone. But I don't know. It's just a matter of what we see out of Deshaun Watson. I mean, Hopkins is getting paid. I mean, how's he going to play after getting money? We've already seen guys fall. We see some receivers, some guys fall off once they get paid. But,
yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah, I'll probably say 9-7, but yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. All right, Flip. What do you think?
For the Texans?
Yeah, what their record is?
Yeah, I was saying 9-7 too. Maybe 8-8, but I got a feeling that the Titans and them are gonna trade wins during that season.
I've actually got them sweeping the Titans, but I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that's your thoughts.
Yep, 9-7.
All right. Anyway, now the Tennessee Titans. A lot of people might get pissed off at me because, especially, I have a few Titans fans on my friends list. But the Titans have some pretty good tools, but they have a lot of holes in their games. They have more flaws. They got more downs than ups. I will go ahead and say that the Titans are going to be 6-10 this year. But what do you guys think?
6-10.
Yeah, am I underrating? Am I underrating them? Am I not giving them enough credit? What you guys think?
I mean, going by their schedule, it can go down to 6-10. Right. But I see Mariota having a real breakout season this year. He's got Rashard Matthews now. Delaney Walker's always dependable. I see Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray just kind of taking over that run game and making it finally useful. And I got him going like 9-7.
All right,
man, yeah. Worst case scenario, I can see a 6-10.
Yeah,
definitely can.
They got a solid squad. I mean, offensively, they got a solid squad. Delaney Walker's, top, at least the top 10, maybe borderline top 8 tight end in the league. Rashard Matthews, Kendall Wright, decent enough wide receivers, and they got that. Yeah,
they got a Rackpo too.
Oh yeah, they got Brian Rackpo. Well, not a Rackpo. Who?
Logan Ryan in the Rackpo. That's not a bad defense.
Do you think Mariota makes the leap this year?
I gotta make him.
Does Mariota make a leap this year? He plays to his competition. I mean, if he's playing a top caliber team, then yeah. If he's playing a scrubby team, then no.
I mean, he lit up the Jags last year like no one's business. For like, gosh, I can't remember how many points he put up both in fantasy or daily fantasy, but he had a game against them last year that was.
Let's not forget that he's shown that he can come back in the fourth quarter too.
Yeah, and not to mention, not only that, but Mariota is actually a dual threat. He's got some feet too. He not only does he have some arm, but he can actually scramble.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And he showed that he can be a pocket passer, so I can see him running more often this season. Yeah. And he's definitely got Corey Davis now. That receiving core is actually pretty nasty.
Yeah. But that's the thing about being a scrambling QB, is because defensive lines hate a scrambling QB because they don't know where he's going to be, so they don't know where to block for him.
That's true. Next row lines travel a little harder, but sometimes it makes it easy. Who knows?
All right, last team in the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars. What you guys think?
Oh man.
Well, all right.
Just survival for everybody.
I deal with this the radio all the time. The Jags fans and like the sportscasters talking about the team locally. And all of them, they're just so down on the team. It's stupid. I mean, Bortles has regressed so terribly. in an actual game. It's sad. It's sad to see what happened. And like, last year, we were expecting, good things out of the receiving core, like Robinson. He was supposed to be a breakout, like top five receiver, but it just didn't happen. Maybe because of Bortles, but also because of him. And their defense, though, is fucking nasty. Like Jalen Ramsey is a fucking shutdown corner, man. And it's just they got promise on defense, but it's just they're basically gonna have to play Bortles to like not lose him. Because he's gonna turn him into like a game manager and just focus on that run game with Fournette. So, but I think it's still gonna be probably maybe like a 5-11 season.
Yeah. People swore that Blake Bortles was going to be the second coming of Ben Roethlisberger. But the thing is, Blake Bortles has got the size and the arm, but he's inconsistent. Not only is he inconsistent, but he can't read defenses either, which is why he throws so many damn picks. And the defense, you're right, is the only thing that's going to really be keeping the Jags in games and might even save them. But I don't see the Jags getting past 4-12. 4-12 is 5-11 is the best they can hope for, but I'm going to go ahead and say 4-12. But all right, Flip, what do you think?
They're beating the Browns, they're beating the Jets, they're beating the Rams, and I got them disappointing one team. I don't know who, but I got a feeling someone's going to be pissed because the Jags are going to beat their team.
Okay.
And get 4-12. Maybe the Steelers will lose to the Jags, who knows?
Possible, yes. Likely, no. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? Hell no. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was out on Blake Bortles when he got drafted. I was looking at that guy, and like, this guy already looks like a manager at Enterprise, man. This guy looks like he should be trying to sell me fucking insurance on my car rental, dude.
Oh my god. But
yeah, I don't know. That seems a mess.
But all right, that'll do it for the AFC South. But yeah, all right. Let's move on to the AFC East. Do you guys really want to do this one? All right, let's just start with everybody's favorite team, the New England Patriots. I'm going to go ahead. I can't stand the damn Patriots because besides our division rivals, the Baltimore Ravens, the Patriots is the only team that has got our number. They're the only team that's got the Steelers' number, I swear. Because every time we go up against them in the playoffs, we lose to them 9 times out of 10. And that's why I can't stand them. But I can't. Tom Brady is damn near the GOAT. I can't deny. Nobody can deny that. And Bill Belichick is probably the greatest coach of all time in football. Bill Belichick is to football is what Greg Popovich is to basketball. I mean, it ain't really no denying that. But I'm gonna go ahead and say the Patriots will be 13-3. What do you guys think?
14-2 if Gronk stays healthy.
That's a bold state. That's bold.
Did your pick change if Edelman was still around? Would it be like a 14-2 or 15-1 season for them if Edelman was still there?
If Edelman was still around, I got him probably going undefeated.
Shit. I mean, but the thing is, it doesn't matter because every year the Patriots always have a piece missing to the puzzle. If it's not, if Tom Brady's not missing due to off-field stuff, Gronk is hurt. If Gronk isn't hurt, Edelman is hurt. If Edelman's not hurt, it's a running back or somebody else like that. They always have a piece of the puzzle missing, and yet they still find a way to get it done.
Yeah, you know what? It feels like they got like 15 running backs, so it doesn't even matter who gets hurt. I swear they got like 4 different running backs that can pass and catch, and then like 2 or 3 that they can just use as traditional, 3-down backs. But yeah, you know what's interesting though? Like I'm looking at their first 3 games. They got the Chiefs, which would be an interesting game depending on where we think the Chiefs are at with their squad, their defense. Then they got to go on the road against the Saints, which I mean Drew Brees in that dome. That's always a like formidable opponent. And then they got the Texans, which the Texans, depending on that defense, that defense might keep them in there. So I mean they do have I think the first 3 games aren't like easy wins for them off the bat. But yeah, I think it's still they're at least 12 to 13 win team, 14-2 pending on health of Gronk. But yeah.
Like if Edelman was still there, he'd still have that safety blanket in the middle. But with Edelman gone, he's got to rely on Amendola. But I mean, Dorsett and Cooks and Gronk. I mean, that's enough. That's enough to go. And plus, James White just sitting in the backfield waiting to just disappoint you and run it for 10 yards.
But they got Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan is the backup for Julian Edelman, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to see how Cooks does in that squad. I mean, we think Cooks is going to be like that Randy Moss factor, where it's just Brady just has that deep threat finally again after basically like almost 10 years, and then
he's gonna have enough one-on-ones. I'll say that.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts on the Patriots. What you guys think the record's going to be? Final thoughts. Like I said, I say 13-3.
14-2. Yeah, 14-2.
Yeah, in that division's a sweep for him. Yeah, it's at least 13 to 14 wins. I'll lean on 13 now because they do got to play at the Broncos. They do got the Falcons.
And they got to play us at home.
Yeah, they got the Falcons at home, but yeah, I'll lean towards 13-3 for that.
Yeah. All right, now the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are like a heads or tails team. The thing is, they got the tools to be a championship caliber team, but the thing is, they're inconsistent. And their schedule, they don't have the easiest schedule in the world. But I'm going to go ahead and say the Buffalo Bills will be somewhere between 7-9 and 8-8. I'm going to go ahead and say 8-8, just to be on the safe side.
What tools do they got left? Everybody's gone, man.
I mean, they got, like I said, they got potential, but the thing is, that's where the inconsistency comes from.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Sammy Watkins is still with them, right?
No, he's gone.
The Watkins left, man.
They got Jordan Matthews now, man.
Woo, well, and it ain't no way in hell that Jordan Matthews is better than no damn Sammy Watkins. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I got him tanking maybe like 5-11.
Hey. They're going, yeah. They're 6-10, 6-10, 5-11 team. Yeah, Jordan Matthews. That's their number one receiver, unless you like the rookie Zay Jones. But yeah, Tyrod Taylor's just going to be fucking hammered the entire. He's already going through concussion protocol right now in preseason.
It's a damn shame.
It's just going to be more of that.
Yeah. All right. All right. The Miami Dolphins. My overall thoughts to the Dolphins, like the Dolphins are a sleeper team. They're probably the most underrated team in the AFC. And Jay Ajayi is a nasty ass running back. He is so sick. I mean, the defense is all right. The defense, if I had to give their defense a grade from F to A+, I'll probably give their defense like a B-. But yeah, I mean, the tools are there, but it all depends on who they face, and it all depends on if Tannehill shows up, and if Jay Ajayi has like, because Jay Ajayi, how many 100-yard games did he have last year?
He had like 2 or 3 200. Yeah, dang, he had 2 or 3 200-yard games.
Yeah, he had a couple.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the Dolphins are gonna be 9-7 this year. What you guys think?
All right, man. They have a great defense on paper, like the Eagles, the Dream Team Eagles did. That's crazy, but you got a great defense on paper. Jay Cutler's still the starting quarterback, right?
Trash. Jay Cutler is so damn trash. But yeah, anyway, go ahead. That outburst was for nothing. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. If that defense can actually have some synergy this year and not be trash like last year, I got the Dolphins going like 8-8.
That's reasonable. That's a respectable record. But yeah.
I got them going 8-8. Yeah.
I think it's a losing record for them. They got some tough non-divisional games. I'm just looking at it right now. They got the Raiders, good squad. They got to play at Atlanta. They got to play the Broncos. I don't know. I think it's a losing record for them right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say probably like 6-10, 7-9. Even with Cutler being reunited with Gase. I just think midway through the season, Cutler's going to be wondering whether or not it was worth it to get out of the house away from his wife. But I don't know. Like 7-9, 6-10 season for him.
Yeah. All right, and last but not least for the AFC East, the New York Jets. Do you guys want to take this one?
1-15. That's
Jets, man.
1-15. That's all you need to say.
My God.
I'll give it 1 win.
2-14, 3-13. I got nothing really to say for that squad. That's just garbage.
I am going to be generous and say 4-12. That's just me being generous because who do they got?
Who they got?
Yeah, who do they got that's actually worth a damn?
That's worth it. Yeah, I mean, it depends how much you think Matt Forte still has left in the tank, but he wasn't that great last year. Um, it's just it's a shit show. I'm scrolling through their roster right now.
They don't have a starting quarterback.
Yeah, they don't. They got the same problem that the Texans had last year. They ain't got no quarterback.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I guess you're saying Jamal Adams might have a good rookie season, but on the defensive end, but it's gonna be a shit show. Yeah, they're not gonna do it.
I say 4-10 just to be generous. I mean 4-12 just to be generous.
That's really generous, man.
Yeah, it is.
Really generous. All
right, let's move on to the AFC West. This division is stacked like hell. God Almighty. I mean, this is a stacked ass division. All right, let's go with the Raiders. Now we seen what Derek Carr. Like before his injury, this is like his coming out party. He really did show people what he could do. And they got Marshawn Lynch now too. Woo! And they probably have one of the top 10 blitzing. They probably have as far as their blitzing game, they're probably top 10 in the league, and the secondary is not that bad either. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Raiders will be 11-5. The only teams that I can really see beating them is probably their divisional games. Well, they'll probably lose maybe 1 or 2 divisional games. I say 11-5 for the Raiders.
This is the year that the Raiders fall off.
Oh, really?
The defense will carry them a couple games. The offense will carry them a couple games. But I see them losing some unfortunate matchups and going probably 7-9, 8-8.
So you're saying Derek Carr? So you're saying Derek Carr's going to get exposed?
I think Derek Carr's going to have a decent season, but I don't see that offense doing too crazy. I want to see Marshawn living up to the hype.
I want to know if Marshawn has to do too much to live up to the hype. I think he could just put on do at least 1,000 yards. I mean, I don't think he's got to be too much to. I mean, I think he might be able to warrant a comeback award. For if he could put up around maybe 1,000 yards, maybe around 10 TDs, after taking the year off. And I mean, Khalil Mack is just such a defensive stud. I mean, I think that honestly, I probably think that they might go 11-5, 12-4. I think around that line. I just think that Derek Carr is probably I think he's one of the top young QBs in the league.
Yeah.
And they got Crabtree, Amari. I mean, it's just they got a good squad. That receiving core is great. And I mean, special team. I'm looking at remember that they got returning. I think their special team is probably low key gonna be good because they got that Patterson that was good on the Vikings for some kick returns. I think he's on there. They'll probably have him returning punts and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they'll surprise people. And they got Jared Cook, tight end. That's.
I forgot all about Cook. Cook. Yeah.
I got them going 9-7, 10-6 actually. After looking at their schedule, I can see them slipping 9 or 10 games.
Yeah. Now, is it safe to say whoever wins the East? I mean, is it safe to say that whoever wins this division is going to the playoffs? But I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get to my boy Flip's team. Not the San Diego Chargers, but the Chargers. I got the Chargers being 7-9.
Wilding. I'll tell you that right now.
Should I give them some more respect, or am I in the ballpark?
Way more respect. Now I'll tell you when I get to my choice.
Yeah. All right, man, what do you think?
I'm saying I think it's a 500 team. I don't know. I'm always wary about when Rivers is gonna really fall off. I'm just waiting for it to just the rails come off the track. I'm still waiting for that. I mean, the guy's getting up there in age. I mean, they've added some receivers, and I mean Melvin Gordon. I mean, he had a terrific year before the injury. I just think I don't know if I trust it. I'm just thinking it's I think it's around a 500 team right now.
Yeah, but this is Phillip Rivers' last chance. If he doesn't make anything, if he doesn't at least get to the playoffs, he's gone. He's out of there. Because you're right, he's getting up there in age. He's inconsistent. I don't give a damn how much they pay him. If he can't produce, he's out of there.
Look, this is the myth of Phillip Rivers. He's got a bad O line, but he's a really solid quarterback. If you look at how many sacks he took last year, you'll be like, how the hell did he put up the numbers he put up?
Yeah.
Now, they revamped the O-line finally, thank God. Our receiving core is solid. We're getting Mike Williams back by week 6. That's going to be the bigger improvement. If Keenan can stay healthy, Melvin Gordon and Brandon Oliver are going to keep that run game crazy. The defense is where you guys are underrated. That defense is going to make some real noise this year, and they're going to go 10-6. If the Chargers can stay healthy this year, mark my words, they go 10-6, and they win the division.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that, but that's a respectable record. But all right, anyway, next up we got the Denver Broncos. Now the Denver Broncos got they got Brock Osweiler back. I don't know how good that is, but the thing is, he showed up when he did play for them. I wonder if it's the system or if it was him. Is it the coaching or is it Brock Osweiler's skill and arm? But regardless of whether Brock Osweiler shows up or not, their running game is decent. They have probably one of the didn't they get rid of Chris Harris? They still got Aqib Talib and they don't even got T.J. Ward either. They got rid of Chris Harris and T.J. Ward. All they got is Aqib Talib in the secondary. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Broncos will be. I might be generous when I'm saying this, but they'll be 9-7.
I got the Broncos being the fall-off team this year. Osweiler, I don't trust Osweiler. He's probably the worst quarterback in that division.
You might not be wrong.
Yeah, that's saying a lot because Alex Smith is over there in Kansas City. Yeah. But I got it going probably 7-9 just because of that defense is still decent. I mean, you still got Von Miller.
Yeah, Von Miller's the best in the damn league. But yeah.
Yeah. So you can't when he's there.
Yeah. Osweiler, yeah, I don't. I think Osweiler holds him back. I think if you put any of the other 3 quarterbacks on this team, if you put Derek Carr on this team, if you put Alex Smith on this team, if you put Phillip Rivers on this team is a contender for the title, for the Super Bowl. I think minus Alex Smith has limitations, but it's at least a 10-6, 11-5 team. Any of those quarterbacks, I think Osweiler is the limiting factor, so to speak.
And it depends on that O line as well, because they've been swapping out players on that line so many times over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, I say Broncos 9-7.
What do you think Jamal Charles does for him?
Ooh, that's a good question because he's actually going to be going up against his old divisional team, the Kansas City Chiefs, which we'll get to in a second. But
he's the second string, right?
Yeah, I believe he's a second stringer.
C.J. Anderson, yeah. They got him behind.
I think, yeah. I mean, he's behind C.J. Anderson. I mean, I don't know where they have him on the depth chart in regards to Booker, who's been there longer, but yeah, I mean, he might get
he was like a third down back.
Yeah.
15
but let's face it, a prime healthy Jamal Charles is probably top 5 running backs in the league. But this year, I'm not holding my breath on that.
I'll say this. I say Jamal Charles is a top 10 running back still if he's healthy. And if he can stay up, that might boost the Chargers, or not the Chargers, the Broncos, because I don't see C.J. Anderson keeping that starting running back spot. I see Jamal Charles at least having like 15 carries a game by like mid-week.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I think that Brock Osweiler is probably gonna be one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL this year. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now before it even happens.
It sucks, and they're really wasting like that receiving core, man. You got Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. They're gonna be running like they're gonna be running like 5 yards in, turning around, and Osweiler he's just on his back.
It's a damn shame. Yeah. All right, now, last but not least, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have all the tools to get it done too, but they just can't. I don't know what it is about them. They just can't seem to get over the hump. And to my surprise, in the draft, they actually drafted a quarterback. I'm like, okay, why the hell would you do that? But oh well, I guess you know what you're doing. I mean, but come on, everything about them is solid. They're just missing a piece, and I don't know what that piece is. But for that, I'm gonna go ahead and give the Chiefs a respectable record of 10-6.
Alex Smith might pull out a few games. Travis Kelce is a monster. Tyreek Hill, if he shows up, they might have a formidable receiver. And Macklin he really need to show up. They need a second receiver. The running core is already in shambles. The defense is the only thing that's solid there. I'm going like 8-8, 9-7. It's going to be a close battle at the top for the AFC West. The Broncos are going to be like near that top maybe.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably 8-8, 9-7. I'm looking at the team right now that they lost. They don't have Macklin. Tyreek Hill is their number one guy, but I don't know if they're gonna keep him doing. They're gonna have him still, return kicks and everything. If they're gonna be using him so many snaps. And obviously they're gonna be, I guess, with Spencer Ware being out, they're gonna be relying on Kendrick West and the rookie Hunt.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're gonna be managing games even more so than when they had more weapons. I mean, they'll be just dumping it off to her Hunt or doing checkdowns to Kelsey. It'll be interesting. Yeah, like you said, I wonder if Alex Smith has a couple bad games in a row, maybe mid-season, and it looks like they're not even compete, that they just don't go to the rookie Patrick Mahomes and see what they got with him.
Yeah. All right. Just overall, all right. I've got the Steelers taking the North, the Texans taking the South, the Patriots taking the East, the Raiders taking the West, and for my wild cards in the AFC, I've got the Chiefs and the Colts.
Yeah. Go ahead, Flip.
All right. I got Patriots taking the East, obviously.
Right.
I'm going to say it's a 50-50 between Chargers and Raiders taking the West, but I'm leaning towards Chargers, obviously, biased. Steelers taking the North, and I got the Titans taking the South.
Oh, really?
Wild cards. Yeah, I got Titans taking the South.
Wow.
And wild cards are going to be Texans and probably Chiefs or Ravens.
I ain't mad at that. There's going to be an AFC West team in the wild card. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One or two. But I think you're going to get, like you said, only one team from the East and the North, Steelers and Patriots, obviously. And then you basically could pick four teams from either the AFC South or AFC West total. I'll probably lean on the Colts for the South, just because I think if they can get at least 13 to 14 games out of Andrew Luck, he can get them to the playoffs and or at least winning the South. And then I'd probably say the Raiders in the West, and then I'll probably lean on the Texans for the South. I think Watson can potentially be offensive rookie of the year. And then I'll probably go with the Chargers. Maybe I'm not. I think I gave them a bad grade early on, but now when I look at it, I'm like, I guess I can see them doing it. Yeah, I'll go with the Chargers. I guess, and the AFC West is the other wild card.
That's respectable. Now, you fellas ready to move on to the NFC?
Yep. Good.
All right, let's start off with the NFC North. We got the Packers, the Bears, the Lions, and the Vikings. Let's start off with the Green Bay Packers first. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Green Bay Packers are a Super Bowl caliber team. There's not really too much that they can't do, but the thing is, a lot of the times they lose to teams they shouldn't lose to, and I don't know if that's Aaron Rodgers' fault or if it's the defense's fault, because you notice whenever he goes up against a team that's just as good as him, he throws a lot of interceptions. I don't know if that's his fault or not, but Aaron Rodgers, I mean, if you don't have Brady as your number one quarterback, if you don't have him as the top quarterback in the league, then it's got to be Rodgers. If Brady is the top quarterback in the AFC, then Rodgers is the top quarterback in the NFC. But overall, I would give the Packers an 11-5 record this year. But what do you guys think?
It depends on that O line. They lost a lot of players in that O line. I got them going 11-5, maybe 12-4.
All right.
Because they really don't have much to fight against in that division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably agree. I'll probably go 12-4. It's just Aaron Rodgers, and that they still got a really solid receiving core, and gosh, who knows? I mean, maybe they essentially can turn this Montgomery guy into just another like check down. I think they'll probably continue to use him like they were last season, but maybe incorporate more just fucking check downs like he's like a Deion Lewis or James White for the Patriots. And I mean Devontae Adams, like, you know, he broke out last season.
Yeah.
And they got my band added my linebacker Ahmad Brooks. I think that'll help shore up their linebacking core. And it's just I think they can run away with the division easily unless something turns around with Detroit. And I'll probably go on. I'd probably say 12-4 for them.
Yeah. All right, now the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna be honest. The Chicago Bears ain't been shit in 10 years. The last time they did anything is when let's see, Matt Hasselbeck was the quarterback. But yeah.
Go back. I would say
no, Rex Grossman. Rex Grossman. That's the last time they really did anything.
I mean, when Rex Grossman had a lead against Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl, don't forget that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the last time they really did anything. The Bears, I mean, they've got a couple of stray away players from other teams, but the thing is, that alone is not going to get it done for them because it don't matter how many players that you get traded from other teams if you don't have any damn chemistry. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Bears are going to be 7-9, 6-10 this year. I'm going to go ahead and be nice and say 7-9.
Look, man, they had the worst draft this year by far, and they are on pace to have the worst season this year too. I had them going like, I don't know, 3-13. It's gonna be bad.
No respect.
They don't have anything.
Yeah.
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 They're gonna go probably. I'm thinking like 6-10. I mean, Trubisky's I guess isn't looking good in the preseason, but it's just if they lean on the rookie, I just don't think there's enough on that team offensive wise. I mean, they lost Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, you got I guess who's their number one? Kevin White.
Yeah, Kevin White.
Probably Mark Eaton.
You think he's the number one? I don't know. I guess he was injured last year. So, I mean, it's a lot of him or Meredith. I think Meredith came on last year, but I just don't think there's enough. Jordan Howard had a solid year, but I just think it's going to be a 6-10 season for him. I don't like their squad at all, really.
Yeah. Who do they really have? They don't have anybody.
Yeah. But all right. Moving on. The Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are another bipolar-ass team. They've got potential, but it seems like every game, because you notice that whenever you watch a Detroit Lions game, it's either the offense is phenomenal or the defense is trash, or the defense is trash. I mean, but the defense is phenomenal. The offense is trash. They never sync. They never click together. It's either one or the other. They teeter totter, and it also depends on who they face too. And right now, Matt Stafford is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And one thing's sure, he better earn his goddamn check. I mean, the thing is, he got a couple of tools to work with. The thing is, let's face it, nothing is going to compare. His best shot to winning the Super Bowl was his 2013-2014 squad, and he has nothing close to that now. Let's be real about it. But overall, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Lions will beat an over 500 team. I don't know where, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the Lions will be 9-7 this year.
Man, go ahead, Blue. That's a reach for me. Or I gotta looking at this schedule. They have a really difficult schedule. I mean, the Buccaneers are coming up too, so that's a scratch off maybe on that one too. They might go 6-10, 5-11. It really depends on if they can upset some of these teams like the Ravens and Steelers and Saints.
Which is a stretch.
I got them beating the Vikings. Both times. Cardinals, Giants, Falcons. They're going to win pretty good to start off the season. It's not looking that great for them.
Yeah, they had so Stafford had a really good year last year despite not having Calvin Johnson. He only had 10 picks. Police percentage was still up there at 65%. I'm looking at his stats right now. But they won a lot of close games. A lot of games were 3-point, 1-point games, and that they ended up sneaking out. So it's if they had a lot of luck on their side, you think that's going to correct itself this year. Maybe half of those games they don't win this year, and then it looks like there's another 3 to 4 losses on their record. So I'm thinking probably 6-10, 7-9 season for him. But I mean, I think Stafford, for what he's done for that organization, he's been the perennial top 10 quarterback in the league. So whether or not you think he deserves the money, it's just a matter of what the market is will allow it for him to make. You know what I mean? That's what he might be worth right now. So.
Right.
Definitely agree with that.
All right, last team in the NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings. Now they don't have AP anymore, of course. They've got a couple of good receivers. Do they still have let's see, who else they got? Who do they have in the receiving core? They got they still have Cordero Patterson.
No, he was on the other squad. We talked about he's not on that team anymore.
They got Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs and Treadwell.
Yeah.
Thielen was that cat who was catching 200 yards. He had 200-yard game, I think.
Yeah. I don't know whether to make heads or tails of the Viking this year. I mean, it all depends on who they face. They can either do as good as 9-7 or as bad as 5-11. They're going to be somewhere in that range. If they make it over 500, they will just barely make it over 500. I am going to go ahead and be generous and say 8-8. What do you guys think?
I think they're in the same spot as the Lions. I think they'll win a couple of close games just because that defense is still really good. They might go as high as 9-7, like you say. But I'd probably say them winning 6 or 7 games at the least. So
yeah, the defense is great. It's gonna keep them in, but it's still just they lack a lot in that team. And Sam Bradford, there's only so many times he can just throw for 5 yards, and I hope they can move him down the field. Just not going to happen. I'm curious to see how well Delvin Cook does in the squad.
They got Latavius Murray.
They got Latavius Murray.
That was a pickup. So we'll see. I think we'll see what they do. But Delvin. I don't know. I wonder if Delvin Cook will cook under that offense with Sam Bradford just checking off to him for a couple yards and hopefully making him do stuff on his own with the yards after the catch. Curious to see how well he performs this year with that, but yeah, I think it's a 6-10, 7-9 season looming for them.
If they had maybe a a solid wide receiver on the other side of Diggs. I think they can do something, but they're just gonna lock him down the entire season.
Yeah. But yeah. All right, now moving on to the ever so popular NFC South. Let's start with the Atlanta Falcons, the choke artist of the century. But the thing is, like, is this going to be their comeback year, or is this going to be the year that they fall off? Now, I have something to say about the Panthers, but I'll say it right after this. Now, Matt Ryan continues to be the most underrated quarterback in the league. I mean, the thing is, he showed why he's top 10. Why he was slept on for so long, I don't know. I mean, because come on. I've been watching NFL's top 100 players. The thing is, it's a shame that people didn't even put him in the top 50 for the past few years. But the thing is, he just cracked the top 10 this year. But everything about them, I mean, they are an offensive juggernaut. The defense, especially the secondary, is not bad either. They can go anywhere between 10-6 and 12-4. That's just my opinion, but I'm gonna go for the glory and say that the Falcons will be 12-4 this year.
I think they surprised everyone this year, and they repeat their run. I don't think they make it back to the Super Bowl, but I think they'll make it at least the second round of the playoffs. That defense showed up. They really showed up this year, and I think they keep growing on defense. Julio is Julio. Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan. Devontae Freeman, if he can actually keep it consistent, I got him going like 11-5, 12-4.
Yeah, I mean, so Matt Ryan had like the career year. Yeah, he's always been like a solid, good quarterback. But then last year, it finally like everything like broke through for him. You know, like he had the right coach. He had Shanahan that offense. You know, he had Julio that year, the whole season. And it just clicked. And obviously, you know, he had that running back tandem. That's probably one of the best running back tandems in the league. And everything just clicked for him. And it's all a matter of if you think that if Matt Ryan like keeps that play up, then I think that'll be fine. But I don't know if that happens with Shanahan being gone. Obviously, we don't. I mean, if Matt Ryan regresses a little bit, and obviously there's always that curse of the teams the teams that lose the Super Bowl, they're just trash the following year almost. It seems they just fall off.
Yeah.
So I think there's a hangover that's associated with it. And I mean, the team blew a 28-3 lead. So I mean, dude, that's a hard pill to swallow. I don't know if the whole season if it's gonna be lingering the entire year. And I just think I think they'll fall back a little bit. Has a team ever won consecutive NFC South titles? Isn't that the division where they always alternate?
Yeah, I don't think I've not seen a. Jeez, now that you mention it, yeah, nobody's ever won back-to-back NFC South titles.
Yeah, it's always like them and the Panthers traded it a few times, and the Saints. 1 year, I was just like, yeah, it always seems.
I think the Panthers did it, right?
Oh yeah,
did the Panthers?
Did the Panthers do it? I think so.
They won from 2013 to 15. So back to back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, at least.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just not sure. I thought it was they always alternated, but yeah, I think they'll regress a little bit. I think that division. I mean, it's a strong ass division. It might be the best division, and it probably is the best division in the NFC.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they'll regress a little bit. I'll probably put them around 10-6.
That's respectable. Now, the Carolina Panthers. I think last year was just a bad year for Cam Newton. He just had a bad year. But I think this is the year that the Carolina Panthers actually wake up. I think that they get shit back on track. I think their secondary wakes up, and I think, the running. I think that the running game really does go back to where it used to be. But I'm gonna go ahead and say, would it be a reach if I said 10-6, or am I being too nice? Am I being too, fair?
No, that's not a reach.
I got a question. Is Cam a fan of the check down?
What is it?
Has Cam ever been a fan of checking down?
I don't think so.
That's basically going to be the make or break this season because McCaffrey's going to be the thing that keeps Kelvin Benjamin open.
Yeah, I believe so. And another big thing with they never really had any problems with injuries or anything like that. I mean, if they can stay healthy, of course they can make the playoffs, at least get a wild card spot. But I'll get to that later. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to be 10-6.
I got it going. I think it's going to be a close race between everyone in that division except the Falcons. I got the Panthers maybe going like 8-8, 9-7. It depends on Kelvin Benjamin. He didn't show up at all last year. Greg Olsen was getting smothered. That defense was non-existent most of the time. Luke Kuechly couldn't stay healthy. If McCaffrey and Jonathan Stewart can create like this kind of, like receiving zone or red zone like duo, then I think they could probably sneak an extra win in and go like 10-6. But I don't know, like 9-7, 8-8.
I'll probably. Yeah, I would say I'll say around 9-7. If only I think if Cam Newton bounces back and plays a little bit better than last season. And yeah, you're right. I mean, this Chris McCaffrey, that's really the wild card in all this. I mean, if it just adds another element to Cam's game, and then Cam can just preserve his body during the whole season, he doesn't have to take as much of a punishment.
And don't forget about Luke. Don't forget about Luke Kuechly, who's probably one of the best defensive players, not only in the NFC but in the league. Don't forget about Luke Kuechly.
He has a concussion almost every other week.
Yeah, Luke Kuechly is somebody who you cannot sleep on.
Don't forget too. The ageless Julius Peppers is still in the league, and he's back. He's back in Carolina, man.
God almighty. Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and say 10-6. I'm gonna go ahead and say 10-6 for the Panthers. But yeah, moving on. The New Orleans Saints. They have an aging Drew Brees. They say that the last thing to go for a quarterback is his arm, and he's still got that arm for the past. He's had that arm for 13 years, and it hasn't failed him yet. The thing is, they can make any game a shootout, but that's just it. If they don't, they can out. The thing is, the only way that they can win is if they outscore you. Their defense is trash. Well, I mean, the thing is, their defense is, I wouldn't say trash, but it's lackluster. They haven't had a good defense in quite some time. The offense is really the only thing that's keeping them in there. And for that alone, I'm going to go ahead and say either 8-8 or 7-9.
Look, man, Drew Brees is Drew Brees. I never bet against Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Now that defense, on the other hand, definitely betting against them. They lost Brandon Cooks. Did they replace him? Because I know they still have Willie Snead. Who else does Drew Brees have to throw to?
He has Michael Thomas. He's a good receiver. He's that tall guy.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
He's a tall.
Okay.
He's a big body, and he's a solid receiver. Snead is suspended for, I don't know. Did they even talk about his suspension? Did they even I remember looking at the draft when I was doing a fantasy draft, and I saw that marker next to his name, but they didn't have a reason for it. So I don't know what that's about. But he does. I mean, Drew Brees does have some people to throw to, and obviously the addition of AP. It'll be interesting to see what that does for him. What AP has left on the tank. I mean, AP is a freak. You say don't bet against Drew Brees. I mean, up until last year too, I wasn't really going to bet against Adrian Peterson. What the man did after coming off, tearing up his knee, and then almost fucking breaking the records for yards in a season. It's hard to bet against him, but we'll see if we'll see what happens. How his body holds up on the turf in New Orleans zone.
I think the reason he went to New Orleans is because he can share carries with Marcus. I think that's going to be a huge factor in the Saints offense. Them having like a little tandem. I think Mark Ingram can be a pretty solid receiving back. He's shown that in past years. I like I said before, I got it being a three-way race between those three teams except the Falcons, and I'd say they go like 8-8, 9-7. It depends on the division game.
That's respectable. That's fair enough. And we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last but not least. They're a team that's building, but that's the thing. I just don't really know. I'm not. The thing is, they're building and they got potential, but I'm not quite sold on what they can do yet. I'll come back to you guys on my opinion of what I think the record's going to be. But anyway, what do you guys think?
Look, man, don't sleep on crab legs.
He's strong. He's strong.
Yeah, don't sleep on crab legs. Mike Evans is a beast. We already know that.
Yeah.
Doug Martin, we're waiting for him to come back and be muscle hamster. That defense is getting nastier and nastier each year. Like I said before, I got him going. It depends on the division games. I think if Jameis can finally, come out and have his breakout year, then I got him going like 8-8, 9-7. I got him stealing a wild card spot maybe.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm leaning on that. That's like I'm leaning on this team to break out after the run that they had last year. Yeah, that stretch from week 10 to I'm looking at it right now, week 14, where they rattle off 5 straight wins. They had some good wins too. They won at Kansas City. They beat the Seahawks. They won in San Diego. They had some good wins in there. And they held the New Orleans to 11 points last year as well. I just think I'm leaning on this team to potentially come here and actually maybe challenge for the division title. Probably around at 9. Probably around I think it's around at 10-6. I just think the addition of Deshaun Jackson is going to be a nice key component towards Jameis coming out and like taking that potential next step, next level. Because I think we all know Winston's like, the guy, what he did in college and what he's kind of shown so far. Like that guy's got some sort of it factor to him.
Yeah.
So once they get Martin back healthy, and I just think it's off to the races. I do see them probably coming up around like 10-6, maybe 11-5, but I think 10-6.
Ooh.
Hold up. Before you do your prediction, I might have to make a change. I forgot they got Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
And they got Jameis has shown he can throw that deep ball, and Mike Evans is definitely going to command that double coverage. I don't know, man. They might go 10-6. I don't know.
With the way their schedule is, I'm kind of iffy on that. And a lot of people, I'm going to tell you guys what I think in a second. Just based off of what you guys said and based on their schedule. They don't really have the easy schedule in the world, if you know what I mean. Come on. Like, look at who...
Let's see.
They got the
no. Dolphins, Bears, Vikings. That's a 3-0 right there.
Well, yeah, those are 3 Steeler wins. But the thing is, their division, they're going to take a beating from everybody in their division. You can't tell me I'm wrong with that.
I don't know, man. They could steal a couple of those wins.
They can, but I don't count on it. I'm not going to count on it. I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
I definitely see them trading off with their own division. That's why I keep saying it's always going to be that race between those 3 teams.
A lot of people might hate me for what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. This is the sports show. We keep it funky here. We keep it real. I'm gonna go ahead and say 7-9 or 8-8 for the Bucks.
Wow, that's so 7-9. Like, dude, they're gonna get probably about 3 wins against the AFC East, right? They got the Jets, Bills, and Miami. That's 3 wins.
But they're not beating no damn Falcons. They're not beating no damn Falcons twice. They sure as hell ain't beating no Panthers twice, and they're gonna trade off wins. They're gonna get swept by the Panthers and the Falcons, and they're gonna trade wins with the Saints.
They could trade off with the Panthers and Saints easy.
No, I think they're gonna get swept. I think they're gonna get swept by the Panthers, and they're gonna get swept by the Falcons.
And I think they could still win in Arizona.
Hell no. Well, like I said, we'll get to them in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 7-9 or 8-8. All right, now, anyway, moving on to the NFC East. Now, gentlemen, this is where it really, really does get interesting. The New York Giants. Now, the New York Giants, Eli Manning, aka Tom Brady's kryptonite. The Giants. They don't. They have yet to reveal their true identity. Some days they're Clark Kent, some days they're Superman. I don't know what the hell is up with them. But here's the thing: the Giants is a team that you can never ever sleep on. Come on. They went. Remember in the 2011-2012 season, they went 8-8 and won the damn Super Bowl against a what? A 13-3 Patriots. So that's a team that you can never sleep on. Their secondary is alright.
I don't want to hear.
But yeah, anyway, and Odell Beckham. Come on, he's top 5, top 3 receivers in the league right now. Their running game is all right. But yeah, I actually am going to say 10-6 for the Giants. But what do you guys think?
And defense is crazy. Janoris Jenkins is showing he can actually do something to receivers.
Yeah.
Their D line is stacked. They lost Prince and Mukamara, but he was getting burnt left and right anyway.
Yeah. What about Cromartie?
The offense is stacked.
Rogers Cromartie ain't that bad either.
Oh, DRC is DRC. That's DRC. Okay. Offense is stacked. Odell's hurt right now. He's probably going to be back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The only problem really is their run game and their O-line. That's make or break right there. If that O-line can save Eli, which they're showing they can't, I got them. I don't know. It's a swing there. I got them swinging between 8-8 to 10-6, maybe 7-9 if they get unlucky. But yeah, it's between their 8-8 and 10-6 because they have the pieces. They just don't have that O-line or that run game still, and that's what hurt them last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it depends. They got the defense. The defense is solid. Top 10 defense last year, and they added Marshall. So you're like, all right, they got to get. Eli has his weapons. All right, he may not have a solid run game, like a running back you can just hand it off to for at least 20 carries, but they got the receiving pieces there, and I think that Evan Ingram, I think that was their first round pick, I think.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, so if he shows out, that's another piece for Eli. This could be this is probably Eli's best team offensive wise, right? That he's had.
I would say, yeah, man. Definitely is.
So,
but do we trust Eli throwing that many times a game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't think they trust any of their. They haven't trusted a running back. Since when? Since Tiki? When? I don't.
Lamar Bradshaw had a nice run for a little while.
He was decent.
Him and Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, and they got Marine still.
Marine sucks, man.
Marine is inconsistent as hell.
Marine's a dumb good. He's a good pass catching running back, man.
I say he's just a product of the Patriots.
Yeah, and Vereen don't fumble. The Vereen doesn't fumble either. You got to give him that.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But yeah, I
watched Vereen single-handedly save Eli's ass against the Niners one Sunday night. So I give props to Vereen when I can. But it's all a matter of if you think how much Brandon Marshall is going to be able to produce in that offense. He's, with the exception of last year, I think Brandon Marshall's always been at least even though 1,000. I feel like he's had 1,000 yards so many times, except for last year. But yeah, I think it's a good. I think he's a key component. Yeah, that was with the Jets. Yeah, I'm looking at his season. He only had 2. With the exception of his rookie year, he's always had 1,000 yards, except for last year with the Jets, and then the one year with the Bears, where he only played 13 games. But yeah, it's I'm gonna say probably 9-7. It all depends. Eli can break out and have that 30 to 35 plus passing TDs.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dependent on their record.
Yeah.
So
All right, moving on to America's favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Every quarterback who has a tremendous rookie year usually has what's called a sophomore slump. Is Dak Prescott gonna be one of those teams who breaks the curse of the sophomore slump? I don't think so. And besides, they have one of the hardest schedules this year, and they don't have Zeke for the first 6 games. Matter of fact, scratch that. I actually read an article that they're actually going to let Zeke play the opener, but still have him suspended for the remainder 5 games. But still, no Zeke for 5 games. No, yeah, but still no Zeke for 5 games and a hard schedule. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Cowboys will be 9-7.
That's kind of pegging that. That's kind of funny that they're gonna let him play the Giants. That's the game everyone's gonna want to watch.
Yeah.
But then after that, like, all right, they're like, we don't want to fuck up the money. Like, let's get him in the one game where we know everyone's gonna be watching. All eyes are gonna be on that game. Then yeah, go ahead and serve this 6 games.
Right.
That's crazy.
Look, man, it depends on if that can produce without Zeke. We haven't seen it happen before. Because I mean they obviously play together, but I don't know, man. I have a feeling that Dak's gonna show us that he's still a quarterback that can produce without Zeke. I'm looking at the first 6 games. I think they could win without Zeke, like 4 of them. It's not really like a crazy schedule starting off. Once he's back,
I actually see them getting swept by the Giants again. But go on.
I mean, you can see him. I can see him beating the Broncos, Rams, Niners, and Cardinals. I got them losing to the Packers and Giants.
They're not gonna beat no damn Cardinals. I mean, at least not to me. But yeah. Wait a minute. Is that a home game or is it an away game?
It's in Arizona.
Oh hell no! They're not gonna beat them.
We'll get to Carson Palmer in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get that. Yeah, we'll get that in a minute. But yeah, like I said, I say Cowboys 9-7.
Yeah, that defense is crazy. It's not their defense is crazy. I think their defense is really slept on, and now they have Jalen Smith to add to that linebacking core. I don't know, man. I got them going division chance of getting 10-6, maybe 11-5. If Dak can produce, if Dak can beat the sophomore slump, I got them going back up there again.
Wow. Well, all right.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. They got another. I mean, there's always a sophomore slump. Coordinators they got a year of film on Dak now, so they're gonna correct mistakes, and Dak's gonna probably come back down to earth a little bit. I think the run game obviously will be all right. They got McFadden, who was solid in spots when Zeke wasn't there, and Alfred Morris, who he's proven already, and he's still fairly young. And they got I like some of their core guys, Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley's like their like their kind of is like their slot, like their the Wes Welker Edelman type.
Yeah.
Just catching short passes and making yards afterwards. And I think Dez will play a lot better. I think with Dak, I think obviously there was like a little bit of lack of chemistry early on with them, but I think there's probably been tinkered and fixed in the OTAs and during training camp. So I mean we'll see. And then they have Old Faithful and Jason Witten. That guy just produces every year.
Yeah.
So I think they'll probably be around like at least a 10-6 team, and then Zeke will come back. Zeke will come by the second half of that season, and then just carry him home because that O line is too good.
Yeah, like I say 9-7, but we'll see. All right, now the Philadelphia Eagles. Whoo! Let's talk about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, he like Frankenstein, he's like the Dr. Frankenstein of the NFL because he just shocked the Philadelphia Eagles to life last year. Didn't they go on like a 6-game winning streak, and then as soon as they started losing, they went on a losing streak?
I think it was 3 or 4, and then they lost to the Lions, and that's when it all went downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went on. Yeah, they won the first three. They were 3-0, and then yeah, you're right. They lost to the Lions, then lost to the Redskins, and then it became kind of he kind of fell back to earth. Then he had a pretty big streak, week 11 to week 15. There was 5 straight losses there, but they closed it out with good division wins. They beat the Giants and Dallas in the last 2 games of the season. So it was a good rookie showing for one.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Man, Alshon Jeffrey is a beast. People sleep on Alshon because he's always got an injury or he's got Jay Cutler thrown to him. I think Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Jay Cutler.
Oh, hell yeah, by miles.
Zach Ertz is still there. Aguilar can finally be a wide receiver number 2 and have a solid wide receiver 1. Their defense is still really kind of sketchy. Their O-line is actually solid. Lane Johnson's back. When he came back after, I think it was mentioned, that O-line looked really different. Their run game is still kind of sketchy. I don't even know if LeGarrette Blount's going to be on the team. I could see them maybe fighting for third. Maybe like an 8-8, 7-9 season. But Cowboys and the Giants are just stacked.
Yeah. Overall, I think it's gonna be like, I mean, I'm just kind of piggyback off of what you said. It depends on which teams they face because they've got potential. But the thing is, I don't see them really beating any of the top 10 teams in the league. But I am gonna go ahead and say 8-8. Watch, they're gonna be the underdog because like a lot of the games they were the underdog in, they actually managed to win those games. Watch, this year they're gonna beat a couple of teams that they're not supposed to beat, and they're gonna lose to teams they're not supposed to lose to. But overall, I'm gonna say the Eagles are gonna be 8-8.
Yeah, I think it's another 500 year. I think it's gonna be, which I think it's an improvement for that most Philadelphia fans will probably accept. They don't mention. I think you said Nelson Aguilar. You can't forget that they did add Torrey Smith, and I think Torrey Smith will definitely look at it as an upgrade after being on San Fran in that shitty ass squad. And I think he'll be like, well, fuck, Alshon, Torrey Smith, Nelson as third, and then obviously if LeGarrette Blount can carry on from his kind of like career year last year with New England, his offense can do some things. So I would probably lean on that. I'd say probably 8-8. Again, it's a tough division. Not as tough as the NFC South, but it's definitely probably the most entertaining division in terms of the slander that goes on the timeline and just fans in general. That's like with bar none. That's like the best division to enjoy just the shit talking and everything.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, the Washington Redskins. I'm going to call the upset. I'm going to call the Cinderella story of the year. The Washington Redskins are going 16-0.
Oh my
Get the
God.
fuck out of here. No, I'm not.
That wasn't even funny.
I'm playing. I'm messing around. I'm just messing around. But I mean, just to get real again for a second. Kirk Cousins. Also, I mean, he plays good for the first. He has like what I like to call reverse Tim Tebow syndrome. He does good the first 3 quarters, and then he chokes away the 4th quarter. He either coughs up the ball due to an interception or a fumble, or something else along those lines happens. And they don't have the easiest schedule in the world either. I mean, look at who they got to go up against. I mean, they got to go up against everybody in the division twice. I mean, and they can't even beat some of the guys outside of the division. But overall, I say that the Redskins will be 7-9 if they're lucky. What do you guys think?
Look, man, Sean Jackson's not there. Pierre Garcon's not there. They don't have a solid run game. Defense is decent. Kirk Cousins, man.
Yeah.
Look, man, they're probably going like 5-11, 4-12.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even see them beating up the Eagles both games.
Hell no.
They
might steal one against the Eagles at home, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
I can see them probably getting swept by the entire division.
Mm.
I could also see that too, but we'll see.
Because, I mean, what, Jordan Reed's not even, like, healthy. Like, when's the last time Jordan Reed was conscious on the field?
Yikes.
Like, no, man.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm thinking along the same lines, 6-10, or 5-11. I mean, do we think? I mean, Terrell Pryor. Do we think that's a big enough
No.
there at that team? No. I mean, Jamison Crowder is a solid receiver, but I don't know if I trust him as my number one. I mean, that's what you're looking at right now. You're looking at Jamison Crowder, and you got Terrell Pryor as your 1 and 2, and then you got Kirk Cousins, who's basically playing. He's like auditioning. He's basically going to be on San Fran next year. He's just basically getting another. It's like his audition tape for how much money Kyle Shanahan's going to get the 49ers to pay up for this guy once he goes into free agency next year.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts. Well, on the Redskins, I say 7-9.
Yeah, 5-11 or 6. Yeah, one of the 5 or 6 or 7. Yeah, no more than 7 wins. The squad's not great.
All right, moving on to the NFC West, and this is also where it gets really interesting. The Arizona Cardinals. These guys are also a sleeper team. Now, the thing is, they've struggled with quarterback. I mean, the thing is, they got Carson Palmer, and Carson Palmer he's come alive. But the thing is he can't get it done against top tier teams. Now, I don't know if that's his fault or if that's the defense's fault, but come on, they still got Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald's been there for a decade now, and he always puts up tremendous numbers. And come on, they got Patrick Peterson, the best, top 3 D-backs in the league right now. I'm not reaching when I say that. I'm actually being 100% honest. And they have a pretty damn good running game, too. Also, I mean, when you count who they're stacked up against, I mean, especially within the division, this is a team that you really should not, you should not really sleep on these guys. I am going to go ahead and say either 9-7 or 10-6, but I'm going to go ahead and go for the glory and say 10-6. But what do you guys think about the Cardinals?
I mean, look, Larry is bound to start declining soon. I feel like this is maybe going to be his decline year. It depends on Larry's performance this year if they make or break. But John Brown is a pretty decent number 2. J.J. Nelson's a solid 3. David Johnson's beast. Carson is Carson. I mean, if that O-line can keep him alive, because that O-line really, really is. And then you got the defense. You got Tyrann Mathieu. You got Patrick Peterson. I don't know if the Jones dude is still there. I don't know if he got suspended or anything.
Yeah, I don't think.
The Jones brothers.
Taylor
love that cocaine. Yeah. Yeah, like the defense is great, but you got that one side that just stays getting burnt. Because what's his name? Not Rogers Cromartie, but Antonio Cromartie. He left, and you could just see that hurt because they stay getting burnt on that side opposite of Patrick.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the division. that says it all. They're gonna be close neck and neck with the Seahawks as usual. I got them going like 9-7, 10-6.
Right. All right, you're up.
Yeah, it's a 7-9 or 8 season for them. I think this division is just the Seahawks this is a cakewalk for them. I just don't. I think Carson Palmer. I think this is going to be the year where it really falls off the rails for him. He had such a solid year 2 years ago, but then last year it kind of came back down to earth. And I just think he's going to keep taking more and more hits. And then it's basically one more. You're looking at one more bad hit, and then you're looking at Blaine Gabbert.
Yikes!
That
spells disaster.
So, that is a disaster. So yeah, we already know what it is with Larry. He's been putting in work the entire year. He's been there with that franchise. But I think Don Brown's solid, but other than that, obviously David Johnson is just a monster for that team. it's a matter if they can continue just utilizing him, and if teams just don't end up just totally putting 8 in the box and just making him, forcing Carson just drop back and then fall into their hands of getting sacked. It's just, I think it's just going to be like a 7-9 season. The defense is going to keep them in a lot of games of all the pieces you guys mentioned, but it's just not going to be. It's not going to be enough. They'll be competitive, but it'll be like another 7-1 season, I think.
All right, well, we'll see. Now, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I got a question for you guys right quick. Why are the Seahawks so slept on? Why do they continue to be slept on? Why do people continue to underrate them and yet they produce every single time?
Because they're awesome.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just Russell. They don't have any. They don't have like really like anyone that's like on offense. You look at it like their weapons. It's like Doug Baldwin. Does he like scare you? I mean, he's great, but does he scare you? Does he scare you like the Julio Jones? Scare you like an Antonio Brown? He doesn't. I mean, Russell like it all falls on him. Like the running back's not, the situation's not great ever since Lynch left. I mean, Rawls has kind of fallen off. And Russell's basically the only guy that when that kind of like, you know, can kind of like frighten me a little bit. My team's playing him, which they do twice a season. But when he drops back and he goes back like 15 yards and then scrambles and, you know, gets the first down, that's the only thing that kind of scares me, the defense or anything that's playing him. I mean, Jimmy Graham hasn't really. I mean, he hasn't been what we thought he might be for that squad. I don't think that's going to be any different. You know.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think I don't think the pieces that are on that team. Nothing on that team really scares you. It's just other than the defense. The defense is
scary.
The defense is fucking great, but it's just that offensively, nothing on that team really scares you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say Seahawks 11-5.
I give them 10-6. I mean, they decided to move McDowell to that D line. I think their D line can be scary again. Offense is still shaky. They need to do something about Jimmy Graham. Like they need to actually bring him to the offense. If Eddie Lacy can have his little, you know, rebirth in Seattle, that'd be dope.
Eddie Lacy needs to stop eating Chinese food or China food.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, he might fit for that squad. I mean, come on, he might not be no Marshawn Lynch, he might not be no Sean Alexander, but he'll do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so. Maybe it could be like a kind of like what Lynch did when Lynch came over to the Seattle. Maybe it'll be like maybe it'll be like a career rejuvenator for him, because you know, when Lynch was leaving Buffalo, he basically got like a restart in Seattle, and it turned his career around. You know, it turned how we look at Lynch around. So maybe that'll happen with Lacy. Maybe it'll turn his career around, and he'll be a better back going forward. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm in that division. That division's theirs. They can sweep that division.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm looking at the schedule. They got the Jags. They got the Redskins.
That's a W. That's a W.
They got the. I mean, the Titans or the Colts. They could sweep. They got the AFC South. You know what I mean? Like I think they can get 12 wins, no problem.
Yeah.
Tough games. I'm looking at. They got to play at Dallas. Second to last week, and they got obviously the Packers the very first game, but I think they can go, and then I think at New York as well. But other than that, I think it's like a 12-4 season for them.
Yeah, that's respectable.
And not forget, Kobe told Richard Sherman to beat the single season interception record for the Seahawks.
Oh, that's a bold claim.
Nope. Kobe tells you to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Humble.
All right, next up, we got the 49ers. Whoo, buddy. Wow. This is a car that is out of gas. That's like, I mean, the San Francisco 49ers is like a pretty Lamborghini. It's almost as disappointing as spending $150,000 on a Lamborghini and then not have the gas to drive it. That's how bad it is. Yeah. But yeah, who do they really have? I mean, they look good on the outside, but the thing is, they don't produce. I mean, they have a whole bunch of holes. It starts with. I'm gonna tell you what it starts with. It starts with the damn coaching. The coaching is fucking horrible. That's what it starts with. And not to mention, they have no kind of team chemistry or any kind of sync. And the thing is, like, their secondary gets burned every damn time. So it's like, what do they really have? But overall, I say they will be lucky to get to 6-10. But I'm gonna go ahead and say 5-11.
Look, I'll let you talk last one since it's your team. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to make some changes in that offense, and I think the 49ers might surprise the Sixers. I don't think they're going anything crazy like 7-9 or up, but with Hoyer and Pierre Garcon, Carlos Hyde, I mean they're not terrible on offense, but they're not like Jaguars terrible.
Yeah.
But they're pretty like decent. Maybe defense is defense. You got Navarro Bowman. DeForest Buckner might actually have a rookie standout year. Is he a rookie or sophomore now?
No, he's not. He's like this is his second or third year, I think. He's not a rookie, but
Okay.
Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, Solomon Thomas. That's the one you guys got.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty solid D-line if they can show up. I think that they could probably go like 5-11, 6-10.
Yeah.
Just because Kyle Shanahan's there, he might surprise us a bit.
We'll see. I say 6-10 for the 49ers.
All right. So this season is a wash for them. This season they traded away pieces. They traded away a tight end I like, Vance McDonald.
Yeah, they gave him to us. They gave him to the Steelers.
They gave him away. They're tanking. They're tanking this year. This season is going to be like 2-12.
Yikes.
3-13. They want to shoot for the quarterback class next year. That's what they're shooting for.
Yeah, they're gonna spend the next 4 years rebuilding.
But this defense, I'm telling you, in a couple of years, this defense is going to be really, really good. This front seven that's coming up with Ruben Foster, Solomon Thomas, Forrest Buckner. This defense going forward in the next couple of years, when it starts getting even, it's going to be back up there to where it was back in the heydays with Harbaugh, when it was them and the Seahawks just beating the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah, like when they had Patrick Willis, who was a freaking monster.
When they had Willis, when they had Ahmad Brooks, when Navarro Bowman was fully healthy,
yeah.
that smash mouth, that defense was killers.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing how the rookies progress, and an improvement in the secondary, hopefully. Eric Reed, and I mean, I'm not expecting much out of the offense. I mean, maybe hopefully we'll see Carlos Hyde put up a 1,000-yard rushing season. Hopefully he plays the full season with us, and we'll see what happens going forward. But I'm not expecting anything on the offense. I mean, it's going to be first year with Coach Shanahan, and he's coaching Hoyer. I'm just pissed that they didn't try to keep Cap. I'm pissed that they ain't trying to make a push to re-sign him. Even though Cap opted to walk away from that team.
Yeah.
But I'm just irritated. But we'll see what happens. I think it's still going to be like a 3-13 season, and they're going to shoot for probably the first overall pick next year. And then we'll see what happens with the quarterback class. Maybe we'll get the Louisville quarterback. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Last but not least, we got the Los Angeles Rams. They're another team that's rebuilding, but I don't really see. I mean, they got potential, but I don't really see anything special there, or at least I don't see anything that can beat a top caliber team. I mean, if I had to give them a letter grade between F and A+, I probably have them somewhere in the C average category. I mean, they might be. They can beat trash teams. They can beat teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars and stuff like that. They can beat teams like the Jags and the New York Jets and stuff like that. But they can't. They're not going to beat anybody who's. They're not going to be able to beat anybody who's an at or an over 500 teams. So for that reason and besides, like I said, they're in the division with the Cardinals and the Seahawks. So for that reason and that reason only, I'm going to give them either a 6-10 or 7-9 season this year.
I don't know about that.
Elaborate.
The Rams defense is really slept on for some reason. I don't know why, but Aaron Donald is a monster, and he's got some. I mean, he makes his team better. He makes that defense better than they should be for some reason. Sammy Watkins and Tavon Austin might do some noise. Todd Gurley is Todd Gurley.
Yeah, that's true.
He had a slump, I think, his second season, but he had a pretty solid season last year.
Last year was.
Yeah. It was the first season that he started off strong, but then it was like a little bit of. The first year he was strong, and the second year, last year, he was right?
Yeah.
His first year, he was strong, and then last year he held off. Like teams just basically figured it out. He couldn't get anything going because
and Tavon Austin wasn't taking no pressure off the run. Yeah, I think he has a comeback year this year. Sammy Watkins helps that offense out a lot if he can stay healthy. Tavon Austin can go be a number 2. I don't know if Jared Goff can be a great quarterback. I think he just sucks, and he's going to bring that team down. So I got him going like 6-10, maybe 7-9 if he actually shows up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Jared. That's the only thing. That quarterback play is just so shitty. Like I think you could take a top 10 quarterback, or even a Matt Stafford or like a middle of the pack quarterback, and they could do a little bit more for the team than what Goff can do. This squad. I mean, like you said, the defense is good. Obviously Aaron McDonald is crazy, but it's just Jared Goff. I don't know if I can trust my quarterback to lead a team where he doesn't know how the sun sets and rises. I don't know if y'all watch Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where the sun sets and where it rises, and that I don't know if you can trust anyone to do anything for your team. If they can't, they don't know basic geography.
Yeah. And if you if you put a ton of the quarterbacks on that team, they could be a solid 10, 6, 11, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not worried about that.
Yeah, it's just Jared Goff so trash, and then they got no one else to challenge him. You know what I mean? To keep him sharp. Like that's his team. He knows. He's like, hey, they wasted a high like a first round pick on me. Like shit. He doesn't have to worry. He has like no competition. He has his squad. And it's just a matter of if he thinks he improves or not. I don't know if he's going to. So yeah, I'll probably say like a 4-12.
Well, all right. We'll go over the standings one more time, and then we'll wrap this up for tonight, gentlemen. I've got for the NFC, I've got the Packers taking the North, the Falcons taking the South, the Giants taking the East, and the Seahawks taking the West. And for my wild cards, I've got the Panthers and the Cardinals.
Flip.
I got Cowboys taking the East, Seahawks taking the West, Packers taking the North, and Falcons taking the South. And my wild cards are going to be Buccaneers and probably Cardinals.
All right. I'm going to go Seattle in the West. I'm going to go with Falcons in the South, Packers in the North, the Giants in the East, partly due to the Zeke suspension being upheld. And for my wild cards, I'm going to go with the Bucs, and I am going to go with the Cowboys.
Ooh, bold statement. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, we'll see about that. The season opener is tomorrow night, Thursday night, with with the Kansas
So
City
2 nights
Chiefs,
from now, right?
City Chiefs going up against the New England Patriots. You got any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Chiefs, Patriots. Good luck to the Chiefs. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think this is the game where Tom Brady shows us that Brandon Cooks can fit into that offense.
I think this is gonna. I think it's gonna be one of those games where Brady goes off. I think. Look, you might be familiar with this, Dreadman. It'd be like that game where they played the Steelers opening night and he just went off. I don't know, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, where he threw. I think he threw like three or four touchdowns, and it just went off. I think Brady's gonna. He's gonna try to. He's gonna try to like keep that Super Bowl season, the momentum from winning that title going, and he's gonna show why he's still the GOAT.
Oh yeah. But anywho, that's pretty much all my thoughts on this. I'm looking forward to the 2017-2018 season. Those are my final thoughts. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube and on Facebook Live, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on the podcast.
No problem, man.
All right, and
Thank you for having us.
All right, no problem, guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
All right, peace.
Take it easy.